Well, I got to tell you, the stock market seems to be well into the momentum that you would expect from the second leg of the bull. This is more interesting because it's happening in spite of what's going on in the Middle East. It's happening in spite of the bonds being back over 4.7. So the bulls are definitely in control, at least on this Monday. And this is what I've been expecting, although I have been expecting those bond yields to come down as part of the deal. There was also false signals this morning, huge false signals this morning on the pre-market. Those of you who watch really, really carefully might have noticed that Tesla was way off this morning in the pre-market and yet is being extremely normal now in the first minutes of the actual market, trading just slightly better than the Nasdaq right now. So I do expect Tesla to move about even with the Nasdaq this week, maybe a little better, a little worse, but around I think it's gonna follow the Nasdaq because I don't think we're gonna see this big increase into earnings that would be anything better than what the overall market is doing. Because again, I believe Tesla is going to move with the market as risk on becomes more and more the case. Tesla is going to benefit from that risk on environment. Anyway, we'll see what happens here. I'll talk more about my expectations on the week in a few seconds. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's just go into it. This is Randy Kirk. Please hit like and subscribe and notify. Later this morning, we'll have Brian White on again, a normal thing now, Monday afternoons or Monday around noon California time is when we have Brian on, and we'll see what he thinks about all this stuff going into earnings. We also, I want to keep telling you about Wednesday. We'll have a pre-show and a post-show. So, right after earnings are released, somewhere between 1 and 1:30 Eastern time, or I'm sorry, that's incorrect. 1 and 1:30 California time. When earnings are released, just a few minutes after that, I will do a report on those earnings. And then after the earnings call, Larry Goldberg and I will take on the entire story and see what we can do with that. All right, so join Patreon, join Patreon, join Patreon, buy the books, and buy the Cybertruck bottle openers. All right. Gary, I'm okay. I'm back, and now I've come fully back into the Gary Black camp. I had moved fully into the Elon Musk camp. I said, okay, these price cuts, if you can justify them and hold margins at a reasonable level, then go for it. I think that the new leasing deal is brilliant. I think it's perfect. I think it's extremely smart. I've explained that in previous videos. And I think that it's an unbeatable deal. $250 or roughly $250 for a Model 3 per month is crazy numbers. And the overall pricing right now is well below the average cost for a vehicle for both Y and 3. And it's just a great deal. There's just nothing more to be said than it's an unbeatable deal out there. So Elon, we're out of momentum now with the price cuts. We can't get more. We can't generate more TAM. Well, we can. I mean, shoot, what the heck? You can sell the car for Model 3 for $25,000 with a $7,500 federal tax benefit, and yes, there would be more TAM. There would be some more people that would be interested in buying. Hey, and maybe we can afford to do that and maintain margins 17, 18, 19%. I do think we are now at the point where all of the good news, and there's so much good news about Teslas, the safest cars, the fastest cars, the most economical car, no trips to the gas station, the most elaborate charging network. I mean, just go on and on and on and on and on about all the advantages of Tesla. I do think there is now a disconnect between the folks who are typically the first movers, even the second movers on something, and then the folks that are kind of sleepy and don't know. They just don't get it. They haven't been told. I think it's time. Let's spend a couple of dollars on advertising. I mean, serious advertising. Sunday night football, Monday night football, stuff where we're going to attract some real attention. All right. So that's my rant for right now. Let's see. So Tesla has placed an ad. This is the only news. I'm sorry. There's no news. This is a story stock. It needs news. It needs new chapters. It needs to have somebody. It needs to keep priming the pump if you're going to keep the fans excited. And yeah, okay. So the stock is up this morning, but this is the only news I could find. Period. Chile. That's where we're going. Okay, so we've got a job opening for a manager to go down to Chile, or somebody in Chile to step up to the plate and become the brand manager, the manager who's going to help Tesla begin sales in Chile. Chile's a great place to start. It's probably got the most stable government and the most middle-class economy in all of South America. I've sold to Chile, I've sold to Argentina, I've sold to Brazil, a couple of other countries, I think, within South America. Chile's where you want to go. That's not to say that the giant countries of Brazil and Argentina are not worthy of an opportunity to be in South America, but I think Chile's a very smart place to start. Okay, what else have we got? We had Truflation steady this morning at 2.3, continuing to prove that we have no inflation. Inflation is over. So why are bonds up this morning, or bond yields up? I don't know. All right. So the New York Fed's Empire State Business Conditions Index, which gauges the manufacturing activity in the state of New York, edged down 6.5%. This was expected in October to a negative 4.6. I think it might have even been expected to be a little worse, but anyway, around there. Yes, they had expected a negative 6 reading, not 4.6. Any reading below 0 indicates deteriorating conditions. They said that the index for new orders fell 9.3 points, so not a lot of new orders coming in. Unfilled orders plunged 19 points to a negative 13.9. So not a lot of orders, no backlog, and no new orders coming in. Well, that's pretty bad, except that they surveyed the folks on the list, and the businesses said they were optimistic about the next 6 months. So apparently they're hearing something from the grapevine. And I would say usually for me, you'd be hearing that inventories are pretty much sopped up. And so orders might be on the way. Anyway, let me tell you again, in general, I believe Tesla will be flat this week. When I say flat, following the Nasdaq almost exactly, unless there's some news. Okay. If the CT news comes out before earnings comes out, yeah, the stock is going to move. If there's some more information about the Model 3 sales before Wednesday, that'll move the stock. But right now, there's just nothing. I mean, there is no news. It's like Tesla has said, no, don't say anything about what's going on, because I would be looking for some kind of news from Tesla almost every single day. More exciting that we're going to that we're going to open up for business in a very small market in South America. All right. So that's what I'm expecting this week. I do believe that Tesla will beat on Wednesday. I will repeat this over and over this week. I believe Tesla will beat on Wednesday. They'll beat the 74-cent earnings. They will beat the expected, 17 to 18% margins. And as a result of that, we may have a very unique situation on Thursday, as long as they reconfirm the 1.8 million. If that's confirmed, we could see an actual up market on Thursday. Wouldn't that be exciting for a change? So anyway, let's see. I think there'll be a breakout, a very substantial breakout, if the profit is over 80 cents, and I think it will be. My guess is 80. My guess is true. My prediction is 84 cents, and if margins are 19% or higher, et cetera. So yeah, okay. So. And by the way, I think there'll be an increase if there is an ad campaign, that if Elon finally says, okay, we'll do some serious advertising, but it's got to be so specific this time. He said he was going to do it earlier, and we got these little nibbles, little this and little that. No, we need something big, something like, Sunday Night Football. All right, we're going to look at the numbers now. Let me pull it up and see where you are. So Tesla continues to exactly move as the Nasdaq is moving. We've got the Dow Jones up 249, Nasdaq up 66, and S&P up 26, with Tesla up 1%. I'm sorry, $1. Those in percentages would be 0.68 for the Dow, 0.5 for the Nasdaq, 0.58 for the S&P, and 0.28. So Tesla's slightly under the Nasdaq now. It has been going up and down versus the Nasdaq all morning. Apple is actually down this morning on some negative news with regard to their sales in China. So that's a very specific thing. NVIDIA is down a little bit this morning, but the rest of the Magnificent Seven are doing well. The Cathie Woods are all up, except for the ARKG fund. Don't know what's going on there. It's probably something. Oh, I see. We got Insego is actually down this morning, so that might be affecting the ARKG fund. All right, let's look at the main numbers here. Okay, so we have got the Bitcoin up 1,000 points this morning, but it was up 2,000. What in the world is going on? There's something big. I don't know. I don't follow it. Okay, so let's go on here. The dollar is, flattish. Gold is down 12 now, heading back towards the 1800s. Silver is down. Copper up slightly. We've got oil down nicely, 64 cents to $87. Again, I continue to believe that oil will trade fairly flat in the 80s. It could go into the 70s, but I think it'll stay in the 80s for now. Bonds, this is just driving me crazy. So up 9 basis points, over 4.7, 4.718. Cannot explain it. Don't have it. I know I'm supposed to be an analyst. I'm supposed to be able to tell you why this is going on. Now it's as we're sitting here. Yes, 0.9 up. Let's look at the 2 years so the 2 month is actually down. That's good. Uninverting. The two year is up, but not as much as the 10-year. Only up 4 basis points. So uninverting. That's a good sign, I guess. But yeah, up 9 basis points for bonds, up over 4.7. Nope, don't get it, don't understand it. All right, Brian White will be with us, as I mentioned, later today, and we'll talk about the numbers, of course, what he's expecting for Wednesday, etc. And then Wednesday we'll have the pre-show and the post-show. So you want to hit like, subscribe, and notify in order to be a part of all of those things and to be reminded. And then, and speaking of reminders, oh, by the way, did you know that Warren Redlich has a novel out? He's written his first novel. It's actually published. He's got it up on Amazon. You might want to check that out. I'll check it out later and let you know. I'll probably even buy it and read it. What the heck? Let's support good old Warren. All right. He was one of the first people that actually inspired me to do the channel, not the books, but the channel. Okay. So $25. Good sales over the weekend for me. I mean, I guess people are getting tired of waiting for the real thing. So, man, lots and lots of sales over the weekend. $25. That's why, because Elon is at 50 on his bottle opener, and I'm at 25. So, I've undercut him. What's going on, Elon? You should be cutting your price in order to beat my price, right? I'm advertising, I'm promoting mine, and so my sales are great. I don't know about yours. You probably won't report them. Anyway, yeah, you can buy 2 beers and a Stein from Tesla for only $150. And then for another $50, you can get something to open the bottles with. But with me, you can get this cute camo that also is a refrigerator magnet. Tesla's is not a refrigerator magnet. And it's not even going to look good on a shelf. It's only a bottle opener. I mean, okay, it's sleek, it's interesting, and it's made out of the same stainless that they actually use in the Tesla Cybertruck. Is that worth $50? No. Buy mine for $25. Absolutely. If you buy more than 10, you want to give me a call. And then, yeah, what else? Yeah, you're going to want to, oh yeah, please tell me camo or regular. Save us some additional emailing back and forth. And then if you're out of the country, add $20. All right, one last, as we always do, just real quick, let's take one last look at where Tesla is as we, see down. Interesting, down just a penny. but down. So yeah, it's a weird day for Tesla. Down strong, down. Nope, back up again. Okay. Isn't it fun following the market, especially Tesla? Such an interesting stock to be a part of.